Hello everyone and welcome back to the devlog for Real Communism, my city builder game. Let's take a look at this week's progress. To start the week, I made a model for sugar canes, which will be the source for sugar in the game, and it will be growable in fall. Then I implemented Barley. I've been doing a very good job of not reusing assets. I've put time into each model that I've made in the game so far. I know that developers can get bad reputations for reusing assets or doing a simple recolor or something on an existing asset to pass it off as an entirely separate entity. And while I can now understand the value in doing that, I also don't want the reputation of being lazy by not taking the time to individualize each asset to the best of my ability. That said, barley and wheat are so similar. And because of that, I decided to reuse the wheat models to also be used for barley. I changed the icon just a bit, as you've seen from the footage, which will still be hard to differentiate from the wheat icon, but it's just in the nature of the similarity between the two crops. I did put in the thought on whether it would be worth it to make separate models, and I just don't think it is. Like wheat, barley will also be growable in the spring and in the fall. To close out the week, I added a hover widget that pops up in the build UI to show the cost for each building. I'm not totally sold on the overall look just yet, but it is a step in the right direction. I feel like a hover widget is better than simply adding the cost to the image on the button. It also makes things easier to edit since I can just stay inside Unreal Engine instead of having to go back into Photoshop to edit the button image. The numbers shown are also currently still arbitrary and will likely be changed when I get to balancing. Not a terrible week, but not the most productive either. I did put in the time this week, but something that wasn't shown was that I did put in some time in working on the pathfinding for trucks. It's just not yet ready for presentation, and maybe that's something I'll have to show for next week. If you haven't already, please wishlist the game on Steam. You can find a link to that in the description. And if you'd like to keep up with the development progress of this game, please subscribe to this channel. If you prefer smaller, more frequent updates, you can follow me on X/Twitter at HaydenMarlowe_, or on TikTok at Marlowe Development. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.